Hi, welcome. How is everyone? Good morning. I'm Mary Amy, and this is Living in the Light in this moment. We're in this moment. We're letting go of any thoughts before this moment. We're not thinking ahead. We're in this moment, living in the light. And I'm coming live from New York. And here we are on this Tuesday in the Matrix work week. I'm very serious today. It's the end of November. And we're headed into the month of December. It's November 30th. Well, thanks everyone who's joining us today. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to remind everyone what we're covering today. Disclosure, pole shifts, timeline jumping. And I just like to say, oh, there's Elsa over there. Hey, Elsa. I am a truth seeker. Maybe you call me a conspiracy theorist. I am on the quest for truth. A truth seeker is someone who is examining and coming to grips with all atrocities and crises to prevent future repetition. That's what a truth seeker is. Basically, someone who is looking out for everyone else. And that's what I'm doing. And today, when we cover disclosures, which are consistently going on a daily basis, are you experiencing that yourself? Hey, Deanna, you're a truth seeker as well. Hello, coming from Michigan, and I'm here in New York. Yes. I am a truth seeker as well as you are. And anyone who's in this community living in the light, we probably are those that have awakened. We've awakened. And maybe it was yesterday, maybe it was a month ago, and maybe it was 10 years ago, but you've awakened and you understand that there's another reality beyond this reality that we were raised in. And we are consistently going to be receiving disclosures, and everyone is going to be looking into the truth now because things are just not adding up, and we have been lied to. There's a lot of fraud, a lot of deception. And these crises that are occurring around the globe, these events that are happening that we can see, whether it's in a video or we hear about on the news, we suspect that maybe we're not told exactly all that's there. There's something that's being revealed to us. There are those out there that are sharing the truth. They're digging deeper. They're going down the rabbit hole. Have you been going down the rabbit hole? I have. Before we get on to disclosure, I just want to remind everyone, let's shift away darkness, guide ourselves to our truest potential, and crack open that beautiful glowing light in your heart, because you have that light within you. You're a worthy being of light. You are highly advanced. You're a sacred being of light. Remind yourself that you must have an invisible line surrounding you to protect you from any of those coming into your space without giving permission, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Also, hi, Keith. Thanks for joining us. Hello. Keith is coming from, don't tell me, Keith, North Carolina. Hello from North Carolina. And some more reminders is, let's have unconditional love for ourselves and for others. Now that sounds so easy when I say it, doesn't it? Oh, have some unconditional love. But really that is about tuning inward. To have unconditional love for yourself, you must accept all of you, all of the stuff that you've done, all the experiences you've had, and maybe some of it you're a little bit shameful of. And you sense, oh, that wasn't a good thing that I did, but I don't want to look at it anymore. I don't want to look at it. But you know what you're doing when you're saying, I don't want to look at it, you're blocking yourself. You're blocking yourself from your truest version of you. We must begin to have self-realization. That's how we are ascending to a higher consciousness. That's how we have more awareness. We have a higher vibration, because when we have unconditional love for ourselves and for others, we raise our vibration and we start to be entering the light. You know, I've said, getting into the light, connecting with the light. And the light is a place, it really exists. I've seen it in my third eye. If you can see it in your third eye, it's there. It's another realm, but it's coming onto this physical reality that we are calling our new Earth Gaia, and what we see with our eyes. Now, we sense a lot within us, but most of us haven't really come in tune with ourselves. We've been raised to kind of shut down all of our feelings and emotions or take a pill or just be quiet. You're so emotional. But really, all along throughout our life, we should have been tuning into all of this because this is where all the answers are in our heart and our spirit. And when you have your mind, your heart, your spirit, all of that together, connected, there's all the answers. So I'm just saying, have unconditional love for yourself and others, and also forgiveness. Now, I know we can go out there and we can say, oh, I'm really having a tough time. How am I going to ever have all of these high vibrational emotions like Mary's talking about? Because I'm really running crisis to crisis or task to task. I have so much to do in this matrix. This matrix just keeps us distracted and we're running, running, running. And then we have no time to look inward. You have to, on your own, make the time in your schedule to have stillness, to ground yourself in the earth. If you imagine your feet deeply planted in the earth's surface, go out to a tree in nature and stand by a healthy tree and absorb its energy field. It's very grounding. And there's also some simple things you may do: spending time in nature, journaling, listening to sound healing frequencies. 432, all of there's, if you look up there, there's on the on social media or on YouTube, you can find there's different healing frequencies, and you just listen to those. 528, Keith's saying, 639, 741, and these heal your DNA, your cells. They repair and heal you. And they help you come back to yourself. That's all we're doing. When we're going to the light, we're really going back to ourselves. And when we go to the light, we're actually going to realize that we're going to find other like-minded beings, those that are also ascending. We're in the front of the line. The evildoers are on the back of the line. They're at the back of the line, and they have to start asking for forgiveness, and they have to come into terms with themselves. So disclosure, 741, did I say that? So disclosure. Also, let me remind you about your dreams. Make note of your dreams. Write them down when you wake up. They might be signs and symbols and messages of a direction you should head into in your waking life, or it might be you engaging with some kind of fear that you've had and you just can't seem to take care of it while you're awake, and maybe you'll solve it while you're sleeping and you can move forward. A lot of this is about asking and accepting. Asking for help. Maybe you want to ask for divine energies, divine intervention, prayer, asking angels, or just asking the universe, hey, I need some help. The universe will answer you. What about 9-something? Yes, there's a 9-something. You're right, Deanna. For this, we're speaking of the healing frequencies. I am sensing, and this is why I mentioned the topic disclosure. I'm bringing up every single topic I bring. 963, Keith says. I bring up relevant topics that are going on out there that we are hearing about. And some of it is even coming out on the news media, which that's what I begin to wonder. And yesterday I mentioned China and how China is rising up. And the fact that there are videos makes me wonder whether or not it's just a setup for us. I'm going to have hope that it's not. There is disclosure going on a daily basis. It's being revealed every single day. And why is that? Because evil, the secret societies, the Illuminati, the Freemasons, the blah, blah royalty, the bloodlines, the British royalty, they are all doubling down. Now, maybe they're reptilians like I spoke of yesterday. Are these reptilians or draconians that have owned Earth? They came on Earth and they've been exploiting us from the beginning for 1,000 years. That might just be a metaphor for just the evildoers, the dark energies. And if you want to go to the Bible, we want to go to spiritual aspects or religions, We could say it's a spiritual war. It's good against evil. There's always been villains throughout history. Who has created history? Wonder about that. So the disclosure that is occurring on a daily basis, if you look at any Twitter or social media, you'll see that it's being released on a daily basis, is because of the doubling down. Now, there's two timelines. There's the great timeline we're on, the awakening. The starseeds and light workers are awakening the masses, awakening the public, and they're awakening on their own, maybe through a mystical experience or Kundalini awakening. They're asking for it. Maybe they're cracking open their third eye or their heart chakra, and they've decided something's happened to them. It's happened. They've come out of a sleeping state. You know, our memories were wiped clean. And how were they wiped clean? Because we were programmed since we were born, since we came onto this new earth Gaia, as we were incarnated here. And we were programmed with all these belief systems and all of these thoughts and unconscious programming. And it came through in many different aspects of our life. It came through our education. It came through what we watched on television. It came through our schooling. It came through our government. It came through just our community. This is how you do it. And why did we want to go along with all of that unconscious programming? Because we want to be liked. We all want to be liked. Everybody wants to be liked. I want to be liked. Oh, like me, like me. Oh, I want to be liked. Because if I'm not liked, then what? I might be hated. I want to be cherished. So if everyone's saying, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, so I can be liked. But what happens when you're liked and you're following someone else's destiny or someone else's agenda or a direction they would like to go in? You're kind of shying away from what's really going on inside of you. And then you're just following along, and where are you getting taken? You're holding hands with someone, you're just in a line, and you're just following. Where are you going? You might be lost at that point. You might be confused. And you add that plus all the programming, and you just don't even know who you are. Do you even know who you are? It takes time to tune into who you are. So here we are in this moment. We are tuning into exactly who we are. We are bringing forward all of the beautiful characteristics that we have within us. And that's really all that's important. You know, nobody really cares about you. Maybe a few family members. All these people out here in this physical reality, they're just caring about themselves. You've got to take care of you. You have to empower yourself. You have strength within you. You're highly advanced. You have 100% authentic DNA that is becoming activated every single day. More light is coming onto the earth. More darkness is being revealed. And so here comes the disclosure. So it's been making known to the public, something that's been concealed from us. It's secret information, and we are going to be getting more and more of it. Now, any of you out there that are awakened like I am have probably been entertaining. It's not really entertainment, is it? It's kind of horrific. These secrets for maybe at least a year, or could be more, could be less, but you've realized, because we're kind of getting into groups here and we're coming together in different ways. You know, below the surface, we're coming together and we're having little communities and we're joining together and we're saying, this is not cool. This is not right. And where are we going? And that was evil. And that was a crime. And we have discovered that the rest of those out there, the public, is starting to see what we're seeing, right? 10 years. And they're starting to question, and they're becoming awakened. And so now there's more disclosure. There are declarations, there are announcements, the revelations, and facts are being shared. Because guess what's going on? We all have a phone. We all have a camera, and we all can take videos. And because of that, more is being revealed quicker. You know, they thought those in charge, those that had all the power and the wealth And they were leading us. They were leading us. Where were they leading us? To our death? Were they leading us to our extermination? Where were they leading us? I think they were leading us to wherever they felt like at the moment. But unfortunately, they were thinking that our phone was a way for them to keep track of us. But now it's a way of us keeping track of what they've done. And then we can announce it publicly very fast, very quickly. So news spreads, especially bad news spreads quickly. Have you ever noticed that? People don't go around saying, hey, how great are you? I'm doing great. You're doing great. Everything's great. What they spread is they spread the bad news. They like to gossip. So it's coming out quickly. It's very damaging. So the purpose of disclosure is to use confidential information to be evaluated. So it's genuine public interest to be made informed decisions. So we must have disclosure so we can make an informed decision. We have to know so we can see what's before us. And that's why I'm a truth seeker. And any of you out there might be truth seekers as well. So full disclosure is coming. There's more. I mean, I suspect I've seen some pretty gruesome stuff and heard about some stuff that for months I couldn't even look at. I had nightmares about it, just hearing it. I'd hear it, I had a knowing about it, and then, I didn't want to know. It was ugly. And we'll get into some of that just briefly because I don't want to go to that dark side. So the whole truth about the systems that we call our physical reality, our world that we see, the government branches, behind the structures that we've been depending on, all these structures, all these systems that are laid out in the matrix, which is a way of us putting all our energy into something, and then we are just completely exhausted. And so we don't have time to kind of think out of the box or look over the fence or see exactly what's going on over there. We are so busy. They like to keep us busy, and they like to use us for our energy and our DNA. They're trying to take our energy and our DNA. Those in power are saying, hey, what can we use them for next? Well, let's use them for their DNA. Let's swallow them up. Let's chew them up. Let's swallow them. And so we've depended on these structures for loyalty, wisdom, and competence. Loyalty, wisdom, and competence. I don't know if I can say that's true right now. Whoever and whatever is behind our beliefs, we're finding out the policies we've been told that we must comply to are now in a position of being realized. So beneath the cover, like the veil has been taken off and we've awakened, well, more of this disclosure is coming online. And you're going to be seeing it, like I said, on a daily basis. Some of it you're not going to be able to want to look at. Now, the more darkness that you can see, the more darkness that you can wrap your brain around, the more light that can come into your system. We must have duality within us. We must accept everything. That's how all of these structures are collapsing. The structures must all collapse for this new earth to come in and a new reality, a new civilization is built up. This civilization was not directed by our organic natural cells. It was man-made. It was artificial. It was those that didn't really care about us. They were all about materialism and get out of the way. I want that down there. I'm going to step on your head. Because don't take it personally. It's just business. So what if we're competitive? That's ridiculous. Humans are more important than money, stuff, position, status, wealth. That's ridiculous. So who is behind the press? Who's behind? What is the purpose of all this transgender? Why are they pushing all of that? Because they believe in a certain God. They don't believe in God and Christ and Jesus and the Virgin Mary. They believe in this form, this entity that's man and woman. And so they're all about transgender. Plus, they want to take away what we actually are, man and woman, so that we are an it. That's why they like all of these pronouns. And so what's behind the leaders, the corporations, the pharma, and what is happening in the tunnels, the black budget projects, the human trafficking, the child trafficking, the doctors, the wealth, all the wealth taken from the citizens, these taxes, and the money that's shipped out to other countries. What about all these people here in this country? And where is that money really going to? Is that being laundered? That's very corrupt where all that money is going to. What is going on with the medical truths, the life forms that aren't human? Maybe they're extraterrestrials, like I mentioned, reptilians, or something that's evil. Maybe it's the devil, maybe it's Satan. I'm not quite sure. I'm just sharing. I'm giving possibilities. Let's bring awareness. When we have more awareness, then we can make a better decision. We can have discernment, can't we? And there also is the drinking of the blood of children's sacrifices. There's something called endochrome. And you know what endochrome is? Endochrome is a chemical produced by oxidation of adrenaline. So they say that some of these celebrities, some of the royalty, some of the leaders, some of these CEOs, these corporations, they're all into satanic rituals and drinking the blood of children. And so I'm just putting this out there. I don't know if I'm going to end up being whatever, but I'm putting it out there. And so there's some famous cover-ups. Let me mention those in the past. People in positions of power who abuse power to avoid silence. People in positions of authority who abuse power to avoid or silence criticism. They cover everything up. Or they deflect guilt of wrongdoing, heinous crimes. So some examples were some massacres, disasters, sexual abuse cases in the Catholic Church, Watergate, the JFK assassination, TWA Flight 800, New World Order. Oh, we know about that, don't we? Is that a cover-up? Maybe. I don't know. They're pretty much out there. They're doubling down because they're pushing their timeline. We're going to get into timeline jumping. There's the two timelines. There's this one, which are the awakening. Oh, I'm finishing a thought from before. There's this one, the awakening, awakening the masses. And then there was the evil one where they wanted to remain in power. And they realized maybe it was through looking at glass technology or Stargate or the yellow cube, Hillary Clinton and the yellow cube. And they realized that they were going to lose power. So they were doubling down. It was destined for, I think, 2050 or 2030. But now they're trying to make it happen now. Guess what? Too late. And the more that you double down, the more you awaken everyone. You're awakening everyone. The death of Jeffrey Epstein, that's a cover-up. UFOs, the Roswell crash, and maybe what we've been undergoing for the last 2.5 years. All of those have been covered up. But disclosure is coming. We're all going to find out everything. And do you know why? Maybe we'll visit the Akashic records. Maybe we'll jump to a new timeline. Or maybe it's just going to come out in the press. But you know what? The media is going to probably be shelved. We'll have another way of finding out information. We're not going to get these newscasters that they're reading from the teleprompter in front of them, and then they're just reading information and you're taking everything to believe it to be true. That's paid programming. Anyway, moving on. So, as we evolve and we progress and we develop over time, we become more improved. Everything that we're doing moving forward is going to be improvement. And after you've awakened, I'm sorry to say, you can't close your eyes anymore. You see everything. But it's beautiful because all of you is coming online. All the beautiful characteristics, your personality, exactly who you were supposed to be from the time you were born, incarnated on this earth. Have you had any exciting dreams or received any lucid dreams where you're half awake, you're waking up, or you're falling asleep, and something flashes into your view, and you think your eyes are closed, but you see everything perfectly? Has that happened? And I wear glasses, and that happens to me all the time. It's pretty exciting. Light is going to stimulate inside of you more sight, and it's going to make things visible, and you're going to escape from all this darkness. We're going to have impressions and conversations, and we're going to hear tones, and maybe spirits are going to visit you, and your ESP is going to come forward, and your psychic phenomenon, like we've been discussing here. So anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So moving on, I just would like to mention that we are here and we are survivors of 2022, and we're going to continue to be survivors of 2022 and move on to 2023. And maybe we're going to live, as Keith says, 1,000 years. I'm planning on living till I'm 104. Most recently, we've seen in the news, and we've also seen it on Twitter and social media, that animals are traveling in circles. And I mentioned that. And I mentioned some possibilities of why they are moving in circles. Is it because of the world is changing and darkness is leaving? Is it something having to do with the Earth's magnetic field? Is it because of all the light that's coming onto the Earth? Or is it because of the pole shifts? And I read about this yesterday. So the pole shifts are points on the surface of the Earth that are intersected by axis of rotation. And the pole shift describes a change in the location of the poles. So is this, researchers say, geomagnetic reversal going on? And that is why these animals are walking in a circle. Now we've seen cows, we've seen sheep, we've seen insects, and I don't know if this is a false flag it's called? If this is, a psyop. Is this a psyop that they're creating for us to be distracted or worried or fearful? I'm not quite sure. I don't believe it to be. I believe it to be a natural occurrence. I don't know how they would get animals to do that unless it was CGI. So these the geomagnetic reversal, if you've examined it, they do this by examining solidified volcanic samples, sediment drill cores, and archaeological artifacts. Because in the past, apparently this has happened. There's been pole shifts. They've claimed 780,000 years ago, as well as 42,000 years ago. I don't know which it is. Global reconstruction of the magnetic field past 9,000 years allegedly was the last time was 780,000 years ago. So are these animals moving this way in this circle because of a pole shift? They're basically saying, is it because of their frequencies, environment, a magnetic field? So during a pole reversal, the magnetic field weakens, and that doesn't completely disappear. And some say that 42,000 years ago, the flip of magnetic poles, world created extreme weather and possible extinction of mammals. We don't know. I'm just putting this out there about the pole shifts because I like to kind of uncover anything and go down the rabbit hole and discover maybe there are different possibilities. And it's very difficult when you don't know where the source is. When I read something online, where's the source coming from? That's why I really, truly only believe people that I know or that I'm in communication with on a personal level, or that I can see it I can see it myself in person. I'm like, whoa. So is there going to be a cataclysmic event from the pole shift? Maybe rapid shifts in the axis rotation of the Earth causing calamities, floods, events. Well, it's hard to know. I know that they've played around with our weather, and I don't know if they've played around with some of these, our timelines, the future and the past, and now, and this present moment. I don't know what they've done to the Earth. The Earth has to heal from everything that's happened on the Earth. All the waters that have been damaged. I want to share a picture here. Here's nature. We have to begin now, as nature and the earth begin to heal, when all the truth is revealed and all these disclosures are told to us and we made known to the public, we have to know that the earth is going to need time to heal, which is probably where God comes into play. And that's why we're going to have some divine intervention. Maybe it's going to be the solar flash that's going to flatten all of technology and all the evildoers to heal the earth. And, I know the Native American Indians were here, and they were all about the earth and the elements of the earth. And they loved our earth and they protected our earth, and they didn't believe in killing just to kill. They were doing it to eat. They weren't doing it to just kill. And there's a lot of killing that's been going on this earth that's unnecessary, and it's very shameful. There's been a lot of lawlessness, I would say. And so we must begin to heal. As the earth heals, we are going to begin to heal. And we are going to realize that this other reality is going to bring a new belief system and a new way of thinking and doing here. And we must come more from within. And that's why we cover psychic phenomenon here. And before we cover psychic phenomenon, I want to bring up timeline jumping. And I have the process of jumping. If you would like to jump to a new timeline. Timeline jumping is in relation to, here we are in this three-dimensional, I'm not, but a lot of others might be in another mental state, in another belief system, and they believe in this very compressed matrix, which is the 9 to 5, rush, rush, rush. The clock that we look at is accurate. Going into school at a young age, college, working 40 to 50 years, retiring, and then passing away. The new belief system is a separate timeline. They've called it, we've been calling it the 5-dimensional timeline. And the 5-dimensional is less dense, and it's more of your body is filled with light. You are transforming and evolving into a crystalline light-based body rather than carbon-based. And as the light comes into your system and you allow it, you must allow it. I'm making suggestions. I'm not making demands. I'm suggesting you allow the light to come into your system. And as the light comes into your system, darkness is leaving you. So those issues that you've had and those traumas that you've experienced, and you've had corruption within your physical vessel, maybe it's taken hold and given you ailments. Maybe your different systems within your body, your different organs have been shut down or harmed or challenged, and you are weaker than you would be. And that's what stress does. And that's what physical stress and emotional stress does to your body. Your nervous system is affected, and then you become weaker, and then you take into account, what are you eating? How are you spending your day? Where does your mind go? We speak of our thoughts and how important our thoughts are. And if you're having negative thoughts all day, those are associated with negative emotions like anger, pain, sadness, fear. I'm not claiming that isn't actually the result of something that's happened to you or that you've done on purpose. I'm just mentioning that there's a way out of that. You don't have to be in that existence. You don't have to be living with fear, anger, sadness, or pain on a daily basis, because eventually it's going to really harm you. It's going to harm the outcome of how your day goes, your lifetime. it's going to give you diseases. All I'm giving you is suggestions to overcome any pain that you're having. And maybe timeline jumping is the answer for you. Timeline jumping is transformational. It's an interruption. It's a massive transformation. And we are all capable of timeline jumping. Whether or not that you have awakened, you might be able to timeline jump, or it might cause you to awaken. So timeline jumping is an opportunity to simultaneously jump to a given moment. And you can consciously choose who you want to be. You can choose if you would like to live in the matrix, in the three-dimensional world, or you would like to jump to the fifth dimension. Obviously, it's going to be difficult for you to go 3 to 5. You might need to step into 4 and then 5, because you are transforming yourself, your mind, body, spirit, to a higher vibrational frequency. You are going to be sensing a different personality within you. You're going to have memories that come forward. You're going to look at things from a different perspective. And that takes an adjustment. You have to allow it to happen. You have to be okay with it. And because out there in this matrix, it's very difficult for us to find those that are awakened, you are constantly being interrupted from jumping to the fifth dimension. Okay, so timeline jumping. We're going to consciously choose without resistance. We are going to jump into a new timeline. You are going to redirect your vibrational orbit. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And how are we going to do this? Let's go through the steps. To timeline jump, your energy and your intention. We're going to tune into our energy and our intention. Now, if you would like to timeline jump to the fifth dimension, what is in the fifth dimension to you? Where or would you like to timeline jump? What is it in your future that you would like to get to right now, rather than wait a year, 6 months, 10 years, whatever it may be for you? You can get there much quicker by timeline jumping. So it's about your energy. It's about your intention. And do you have any resistance? Okay, so I would suggest we relax ourselves and we come from a place of positivity, and that you will have the ability to timeline jump. Are you having any resistance? Ask yourself, is it something that you would like to do? Am I being specific enough so you know exactly what I'm referring to? What I'm saying is, imagine in front of you, here's the timeline of your life. Here you are born, and let's say here you are, you pass. What is happening in between here, and where are you on this timeline? And what would you like to get to quicker? For example, if you are practicing or you're training for something, if you are waiting for more time to pass before you can enter a new job or career, let's take you to that career or that job or that portal of this new opportunity. And we want to mentally go there. We want to have the intention of where we would like to go. I'll give myself an example. So if I would like to come from a place of positive energy, I'm going to relax my body. I'm going to try to go in as deeply as possible into a meditative place. I'm going to close my eyes probably. I'm going to relax. I'm going to let go of any doubt, any resistance. I'm going to tune into my breathing, and I'm going to enter a void. to release the old timeline. So I'm going to work on or practice going into my breathing, and I imagine going into a place of my past, and I'm going to let go of all of my past timelines so I can create this new timeline. I'm going to let go. I'm going to release all the old timelines. And as I release the old timelines, in its place, in this void, I'm going to create and meet with the new timeline. So I'm going to see myself connect with the new timeline. And as I do this, I'm going to create anchors that solidify jumping. And so anchors are going to be something that you are consciously aware of, that you're creating. And maybe it's going to be an existence that you're in right now. In other words, here we are in this space. So you're going to imagine connecting with the earth right in that moment when you're seeing your new timeline. Okay? And then you're going to support your timeline jump by being positive and by sustaining the image in your mind of where you're jumping to. Whatever it is that you want in your future, you're going to bring it forward. And you're going to do this by visualizing it, by anchoring it into this moment, by releasing the past. And all of this is going to help you create exactly who you are. You're bringing forward exactly who you are. Now, humans may exist in various timelines, and they may jump in a timeline to control or create a shift. And I've just given the example of those that have known about the two timelines that are going on, the awakening timeline and the negative timeline. And we do realize that there may be multiverse realities. So a multiverse is a multiple universe that exists. A theory in quantum physics in which multiple universes exist has been considered for everyone. So we may all have a multi-version of us. There might be another reality going on in this moment that we are in. And it's very possible when you're jumping to another timeline, you're jumping to another version of you, the future version of you. And it is possible. It's really about your energy, your intention, and your belief system. You cannot have any resistance. You have to just accept it. I am considering myself jumping timelines at this very moment. Before we move on, I just want to mention angels. Angels are beings of light. They're non-gender, they're immortal. They come from the heavens to earth to protect humanity. They ascend and descend on a staircase to heaven. They've said that there are tens of thousands upon millions of angels that travel from the heavens to earth that exist. There's 9 ranks of angels. They're immortal. They are celestial beings of light. Now, they're messengers, they're protectors, and they're guides for humans. You can ask for angels to come into your reality, into your physical realm that you're existing in. We all have at least 2 guardian angels that are with us since birth. And they are here to guide us and protect us. Hey, Ian, thanks for joining us. I'm so happy that you're here. Liverpool. Thanks, Ian. I don't know if you were here when we were discussing disclosure and pole shifts, and I mentioned the disclosures that are going on right now on our globe, across our globe. There are these disclosures that are being made to the public, known to the public, and they've been concealed, and it's secret information. And there's some facts that are being shared. And we've been, trusting and believing in all these systems. And when we uncover what's below the cover, what's the wrapping we're now experiencing the real truth. Who's behind these negative events out there? And what has been happening? The the government branches, what's behind the structures that we've depended on for loyalty, wisdom, and competence. And I mentioned some of them. And I would also like to remind everyone about the pole shifts. We spoke about the animals walking in a circle, and why are they walking in a circle? Are they walking in a circle because there are some pole shifts that are happening, which is a change in the location of the poles and the points on the surface of the earth that are intersected by the axis of rotation? I don't know. And we just walked through how to timeline jump. If you're interested in timeline jumping, it's an interruption, a massive transformation. And anyone that's awakened is probably in the process of timeline jumping to the fifth dimension. Welcome to anyone who's joining us. We can consciously choose to timeline jump, and that comes through your energy and an intention, and do you have any resistance? And you're going to do some intense breathing work, and you're going to enter a void after you close your eyes of the new timeline. And as you are entering the new timeline, you're releasing the old timeline, you're letting go of it. Anything that's happened to you in the past, you must let go of to jump to the new timeline, because you're letting go of all those beliefs and all those thoughts. I say that you have these thought attachments, this sack of attachments that you're carrying around. It's attached to you, and you're giving it life, and you're giving it life, and it's breathing these attachments into you, into your mind, into your heart, into your spirit. You must cut those thought attachments off and leave them on the side of the road. We can quantum jump to a new timeline. All right, let's move on, and we're going to discuss our clairsenses. Has anyone been practicing their clairsenses? Have you been tuning into telepathy? And have you been practicing your clairaudience, which is your hearing, and you go into a quiet space and you close your eyes and you gain some stillness? And we must turn off all our electronics when we do this, all the technology, because those frequencies are disrupting any kind of impressions that we're receiving. You have a knowing within you. You have the ability to predict the future. You have the ability to change the outcome. We've spoken of cause and effect. Our thoughts are very powerful. Every thought that you have carries a charged impulse. It carries emotions and feelings, and that is how you are able to have extrasensory perception. It's all through your feelings and your emotions and your clairsenses. All of your senses within you have all the answers. Rational thought, I'm an idealist, I'm a numbers guy. It's not important when you're working on your intuitive abilities. You have a perception. You have the ability to remote view. You can see beyond this realm. You have the ability to connect to other realities, to other realms, to the spiritual realm, to those who have passed, extraterrestrials. You can do this. You have the ability. Maybe you're a medium. Maybe you're a channeler. Maybe you're a clairvoyant. There's many possibilities. You might have what's called clairempathy, where you can tune into and you have empathic abilities. And since a young age, you always felt when you were happy and then you were around somebody who was in a bad mood, all of a sudden it corrupted how you felt. You no longer felt well. And if you're empathic, you probably need a little bit more time to be isolated, because you gather everyone's emotions and their thoughts without even trying. And it messes with you. So if you're clairempathic, you're able to connect to someone's heart and read who they are. And maybe you cry when they tell you a story of something that caused them pain. And you know what? All of these senses make you a little bit more vulnerable. And you may feel as though you want to shy away from that. You want to turn the dial all the way down instead of all the way up. But let me share with you the reality that we're headed towards, the new earth. On this new earth, Gaia is a reality of the beauty of our earth, the four elements, air, water, nature, fire, and ether, the fifth element that exists beyond the clouds, which will bring us free energy. It's time for us to heal inward, and everything on this earth in this physical reality is also going to be healed. And when that happens and these structures collapse that we've been existing in, we've been knowing all those buildings are going to be left empty. We're going to just make gardens, and we're going to be more productive, and we're going to all reach our destinies. And we're going to find our purpose and our passions. And we're not going to need, do you do spiritual readings? Oh, yes. That's what I've been doing for many years. I'm a spiritual coach. I'm an intuitive wisdom coach. I'm certified. I'm a Reiki master. I'm an ordained minister. I'm an author. I'm a host. And that's what I am. And I'm also just a person like you are, who is trying to do their best and have a great life and bring serenity and peace and love into their hearts. Okay, have you had any nightmares recently? Let me ask you that, because I worry. I worry if you're tuning into love when you go to sleep, and I forgot to myself. And so I had a nightmare last night. I had psychic attack. How much are your readings? Oh my goodness. Well, you can find me on my website, and we can discuss that, maryamyofficial.com. And or you can on social media, and we will talk. So are you having nightmares? Are they scary? Are they causing you anxiety? Are they vivid and they wake you up? And do you wake up? For a while, I shared with you that I had little, it looked like little bruises on my back. And they were like the size of, I haven't looked recently, the size of a quarter. And they just would show up and then they disappear. And then they'd show up and then they disappear. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you deem so. And my suggestion, if you are having a nightmare, there's a difference between a nightmare and a psychic attack. A nightmare is going to be something that is sharing with you information about yourself that maybe you have not discovered, or it's a solution to a problem that you might have while you're awake. And as I said yesterday, if you are sleeping and you're running, like I did for many years, stop running. Now, the Native American Indians, I just showed a little snapshot of them. The Native American Indians used to have what's called dream work. They'd get together in their tribe and they'd sit down in a circle and they'd discuss their dreams. They knew it was very valuable because their dreams told them where they should travel to. Maybe that was safe or someplace to get food. They were always moving, and they were just trying to survive in nature. And they would sit down together and they would discuss their dreams, and they would do what's called dream work. And so dream work is basically asking yourself a question before you go to sleep, and hopefully the answer comes through in your dreams. Maybe it is as simple as stop running when you're in your dream, and whatever's chasing you, you will find out. Now, I myself discovered when I stopped running in my dreams, I unblocked myself. I saw a completely new world when I woke up. I brought more spiritual energy in. I awakened my third eye. And when I closed my eyes at night, light came through. Dreams are so valuable that I actually wrote a dream journal, and you can find it on Amazon by Mary Amy, My Dream Journal. And I'm going to plug that just because it's an example. You can just get a composition book. You don't have to buy a dream journal. You can just get a little notebook and write down a description and what your emotions were, and you're acknowledging it. Because when we wake up, sometimes we don't remember after a few moments and we say, oh, I forgot my dream. And it might have been something that you needed to know. It might have been solving a very difficult problem you were having, maybe in a relationship, in your career, within yourself. You might be struggling with something and you can't seem to find out what's wrong. Everything's within you. Everything, all the answers. You just have to tune inward. Okay, so our clairsenses. Our clairsenses will give us some divine messages. Maybe you will receive a spiritual or a mystical awakening. You might just be like I am. The more that I do this with you and in my own life, outside of doing these videos, the more answers that are revealed. And I'm capable of moving quicker and seeing, avoid that, do this, don't do that. And I avoid harm. Hey, Deanna, bye. Thanks for teaching the awakening peeps. Most people charge for these classes. Most people charge for these classes for free. Okay, good. And I am sending you love and hope today, Deanna. And Deanna came. I appreciate you joining us today from Michigan. I'll be back again tomorrow at 7 p.m., Deanna. Okay, so let's practice our clairsenses. So we're going to relax. We're going to uncross anything that we have. You know, if your legs are crossed, you're going to sit down. You're going to just relax, and you're going to let go of anything that's bothering you. You know, we can carry around so much within our minds, and it's just overwhelming, and it's stressful. Let's let go of anything before this moment, and let's be in this moment. Let's exist right now, here. And maybe you need to, if you feel as though you're thinking too much, look around. You know, I'm holding a mug. Look at what's in your surroundings. Acknowledge what's right here in this physical reality. And that's how you ground yourself. And imagine your feet firmly planted in the earth's surface. Okay? Maybe grab your knees, okay, to ground yourself. Let out a breath. Say, I'm in this moment. And let go. Just let go of everything that's bothering you. And let out a breath. And relax. You know, actually act like maybe you're like a rag doll and you're just letting go of everything. If you have to speak it out, let it out verbally, whatever it is that's going on. Maybe you need to talk about it and say it out loud, loudly, whatever, to just let it go. Let it out of your system and be in this moment. And so we're going to let out a breath and we're going to remind ourselves, take away any doubt that you can achieve your clairsenses, that you have the ability within you to bring forward all of your psychic phenomenon that's within you. You are highly advanced. And as we all awaken, we're going to discover that more and more of us are going to connect through our minds. We're going to find each other. You know, right here in this moment, all these frequencies that are coming to us from the Wi-Fi, from the cell towers, from our phones, it's a distraction. Maybe you need to put earplugs in. I did that for a while because it was too much for me. But as this all leaves and all those man-made artificial systems leave and more of us are available naturally and organically, we are going to connect with each other on a telepathic level. We're going to be able to hear each other's thoughts, and we're going to have more consciousness and awareness to what's really going on here. So if nature's giving you a guideline or something's coming through to you and you're within your day, maybe you're going to, after today, you practice this little clair exercise, this intuitive exercise, and all of a sudden you're going to get a flash of information. Pay attention. It's an impression that you are supposed to receive, just like a phone call, just like an email, just like a text. It's telepathic information. We're going to probably have a terminology, like we have a terminology for a text and an email. We'll have telepathic data, or maybe your data is coming through. There'll be some kind of term they're going to use in the future. And you'll say, oh, I remember Mary said that. Okay, so we're going to let go. We're going to surrender to this. We're going to surrender to our psychic phenomenon and our clear senses. All of our senses, our hearing, our sight. If you're activated, your third eye is activated, your smell, your taste, your touch, and your heart, your feeling. Okay, so we're letting go of that. And we're surrendering. We are dropping down into our senses. We're only tuning into our senses. So maybe it's your heart that comes through. Maybe that's the easiest for you. Maybe it's your hearing. You're going to drop down. You're going to make physical contact where you feel. And you're going to check. Let's check. Tune into your hearing right now. This takes conscious focus and concentration. You're being conscious of this and you're aware. Tuning into your hearing. What are you hearing in the space that you're in right now? For me, I'm hearing the cars on the road outside. I'm hearing the sounds of the different appliances. Whatever you're hearing, you're just practicing connecting with your senses. Because the more that you practice and connect with your senses, the more that you're revealing yourself. You're becoming acquainted with who you are. You were not raised to do this unless you're maybe an artist or you're someone who is constantly creating about your feelings and emotions. Okay, so tune into your hearing. I can hear the rain outside. I can hear the water splashing on the road. Whatever it is for you. Now I'd like you to tune into your heart, which means you tune in. What are you feeling? If someone said to you, what are you feeling in this moment? What are you feeling? Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling sad? Is it a little bit more specific than that? You're feeling disappointed. Are you feeling gleeful or joyful? Whatever it is. Now, I'm reminding you that this is all personal. There's no right or wrong answer. We are practicing. We are taking away any doubt. Okay, so for me, I'm feeling a little tired, but I don't think that's an emotion, is that? That's a physical thing. I'm feeling as though probably, I'm physically feeling tired. I'm feeling actually happy. I'm feeling as though positive. I'm feeling positive because I have so much to look forward to and I see light at the end of the tunnel. I see beyond a difficult situation will improve beyond my vision. So that's how I'm feeling. So whatever you're feeling. Okay, and so now let's tune into our third eye. If you've cracked open your third eye, yesterday we spoke about maybe you want to put gemstones on your third eye. Maybe you want to imagine light hitting your third eye. When you activate your third eye, you're going to be able to see another realm. How do you activate your third eye? Spending time in nature, spending time seeing a sunrise, meditating, asking for it, asking for a third eye activation. So if I was to say what I'm sensing in my third eye right now, in this physical reality, I see an angel over here. But when I see an angel, they're always moving now. What do I see around me? I see ducks and water. And that's interesting because it's raining out. I see a horse galloping. I see a horse galloping. These are positive. And that's what I see. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so let's do that. Now we're going to have a suggestion. So we're now relaxed. We're like a rag doll. We've let out a breath. We've let go of any thoughts before this moment. And we've decided that we're completely accepting our psychic abilities, and we're surrendering and we're dropping down. And now we're going to choose one of our senses. Maybe it's touch, maybe it's feeling, maybe it's seeing, sight, your intuitive sight, maybe it's hearing. So we're going to close our eyes. I think that's easier to do it that way. And we are having physical contact, and you can choose more than one clairsense. And so we are going to listen or touch, whatever it is that you choose that works for you. I'm going to do my clairaudience because that is very helpful to me. And I'd like you to listen, and I'm going to give you a suggestion, or whatever it is. If you're touching, if you're having sense of touch, or you're tuning into your feeling, what impressions are you receiving? I'm going to be quiet for a minute, and then I'm going to give a suggestion. So if whatever sense you're tuning into, what impressions? And an impression is going to be a sensation. It might be a visual, a mental picture, might be a voice, a sound. You might see a location, could be a word. And we are tuning in, and I'm giving this suggestion. The suggestion is, with your clairsense, I would like you to tune into the moment that you took your first breath. The moment that you took your first breath on this earth. And let's see what comes through. So we've tuned into our senses. We've chosen a sense. I'm choosing my hearing. And I'm going to drop into that and surrender to it. Now, if a thought comes through, send it back up. So just tune into your hearing or whatever sense. And the suggestion is the moment you took your first breath, what impressions are you receiving? If you're having any trouble with this, try another sense, because it's about what you received in that moment. What were you hearing? What were you feeling? I tried my hearing. I'm not receiving any impressions. So I'm going to try my feeling. What was I feeling? The moment I was born, the moment I was incarnated on this earth. Okay, so I was trying to gasp for air. I was having trouble. And what's interesting is I've had issues with that my whole life, that I felt either I was choked or I've had recurring dreams. So that just kind of gave me some information about myself. Let me see if I receive anything else. And I had a lot of fear. It's interesting. This maybe I could cry right now. This might have just kind of given me a new outlook about why I've had this recurring issue. Interesting. Okay, so did anyone else receive any information about the moment you came on into this new earth, the moment that you were born? Did you receive any information, any impressions? And I'm doing these exercises because maybe it will help reveal something about you. You're going to come more in contact with who you really are, and you're allowing yourself to be you, the genuine being that you are. And I don't know, I don't know everything or really anything. I'm just sharing with you possibilities, maybe giving attention to healing, and I'm trying to help. And I'm sharing with you that you're worthy and you're a beautiful being of light. And I'm here as long as I can be, and sharing topics and just discussing, I don't know, conspiracy theories and ways to heal yourself. Okay, so let's do the ball of light. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I can't believe I discovered that about myself. That's something I really have to think about after today. Okay, so I'm rubbing my hands together and I'm taking it away from my body. And hopefully you have a vibration on your palms, and maybe you want to cup your hands. So you should feel some kind of energy in your hands. And this helps with focus and concentration. And we always say we're bringing light onto the earth. And we bring light around our being. We have an energy field that's around our physical body, and we're bringing more light to our energy field. We're bringing more light. It's the power of suggestion, isn't it? So this ball of light is actually a way for you to kind of tune into more of yourself and energy outside your body, your physical body. Okay, so here we have this ball of light. And in the past, we've realized that it can be used as a teleportation device. It can take us a time travel device. Maybe it's a way of understanding more about yourself or connecting to a spirit. Let's see what happens today in this moment. I always do this off the cuff. I don't plan this because I don't like to overthink anything intuitive. It should just be basically a knee-jerk reaction. Okay, so we're tuning in. I'm saying right now, this ball of light is going to be, I'm holding this ball of light, and I am holding this ball of light, and I would like to bring it to the future. And I'm going to pick an exact day. I would like to take this ball of light and bring it to tomorrow. So everyone's holding their ball of light. Let's take this. We're time travelers. We're taking this ball of light. We're holding this ball of light. And we are going to drop down into our senses. We're going to let go of we're going to do this together. It's going to be exciting. We are going to relax. Like I said, as much as you can while you're holding your ball of light. Relax everything. Uncross your legs. Let out a breath. Surrender to all your senses. Drop down into your senses. Make physical contact. Maybe you need to close your eyes. I'm going to keep mine open. And we are going to imagine, as we hold this ball of light, that we are holding the ball of light, and it's tomorrow. It is December 1st, 2022. Now you're holding the ball of light, and I'm giving this suggestion that it is December 1st, 2022. I'm not telling you what time of day. We're just saying that. And let's see if we come up with any impressions. Okay, I'm dropping down in. Now you tune into one of your senses. Maybe it's your clairaudience, your hearing, your sight, your clairvoyance, your third eye. Maybe it's your heart. So as you close your eyes, just see if you receive any sensations, visuals. I'm going to tune in, and I'm going to utilize my clairaudience, my hearing, and I'm going to try also with my third eye. And it's tomorrow, December 1st. And I'm holding my ball of light. Okay, so I see myself. I was looking at the clock, or I'm looking at the clock. I'm going to tune in and see what I see. I'm looking at the clock. I'm rushing. I have a lot to do tomorrow, so that's probably why. Let me just stay on and not not bring thoughts into it. You want to remove any thoughts, release that. It's just tuning into one of your clear senses. Let me go to my clairaudience and see if I receive anything hearing wise. I'm making the suggestion or giving the suggestion. It's December 1st, 2022. I'm holding the ball of light. And what am I hearing? Or what am I seeing? So I'm seeing something that I have to pull. There's going to be a situation tomorrow for me that I have to pull something from under. So I see it looked like, it's white. It was a piece of paper or a sheet, or I'm not quite sure if it's at my job in the matrix or if it's here. Let's see if I can sense what this is. So I'm giving a prediction of something that's going to happen to me tomorrow. Now you're capable of this as well. Now for me to have this impression, it must be something that's powerful. It must be something that has brought me a charged impulse. Our feelings and emotions are attached. Okay, so let's see if I can go back to it. I'm filling out some kind of paperwork. That's what's going on. There's some kind of important paperwork that I have to fill out tomorrow, and I'm flipping the pages. And I don't know about this as of right now. I'm sharing that with you. To my knowledge, there's nothing important I'm supposed to be filling out tomorrow. So this is a prediction. I don't want to spend too much time. I just want to see if there's anything else I can see, if I can read what's on the paperwork. That's all I'm receiving, because my thoughts keep coming into play to try to figure out what it is. So I'm going to put my hands back together. And that was interesting. I don't know if you had anything that you received about tomorrow that's going to happen to you, a future prediction. And why are we doing this? Because we are basically stretching ourselves. We are stretching our senses. I began years and years ago when I had a visual. What happened to me, I had my first awakening, and it was 2000, it was like 2013, pretty much. I mean, before that, I knew I was an empath, but 2013, everything came forward. And I saw this visual of a mechanism that was turning. It was a wheel that was turning, and it turned and locked. It was like an old-time ancient two wheels that came together, and it was almost like the bearings when you're in the insides of a safe where they're turning the dial, and it's clicking. And that's what happened to me. And when that happened, I can remember that I started receiving information, and I started beginning to, I guess, allow my clear senses to open up. And that is when light came into my mind. So I'm sharing this with you because Anything is possible. You too are capable of this. All right, so it was a lovely day, and I'm going to go and do all of my chores and tasks that I have to do on my day off from my job in the Matrix. And I'm spinning light, and you're in the center of it, and I'm asking you to make a wish. Make a wish. I'll be back again tomorrow at 7 p.m. and you're in the center. I hope you liked the video and subscribe to the channel. Again, today we covered disclosure, pole shifts, and timeline jumping. And you are capable, light, more light. You are capable of so much more than you realize. And so as you basically become more acquainted with yourself and you realize that you have these abilities within you, you are capable of seeing the future. You are capable of predicting what might happen. And we have what's called free will, yes, but there are outcomes that are kind of set up already. And a lot of it is from what our thoughts are. So you create positive thoughts, you'll create positive outcomes. Everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you, Ian. Have a wonderful day. Everyone be well. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m.